See, morality. Morality has become an important thing in the society because people have forsaken their humanity. If your humanity was alive and active, you would not need any morality. People have put their humanity to sleep and trying to behave like human beings with morality, and it's not working. Because everybody will come up with his own morality. And your kind of morality and another person's kind of morality is at war all the time. What is right and wrong, if you open this debate, you will end up with a fight, even within your family, believe me. Yes or no? No? If you start a debate as to what is right and what is wrong, whether it's in the world or in your neighborhood or within the family, fight is inevitable because no two people can agree on what is right and wrong. And it's never been settled ever because no such thing exists. Instead of trying to be right, why don't people try to be sensible? We need some sense in the planet. These righteous people are always a trouble. Once you have a strong set of morals, you will see nobody in the world is all right. If nobody in the world is okay, you have a psychological problem. The first sign of psychological imbalance is you start thinking nobody is okay. So morality is just that, it's a first step towards insanity. You just have to stretch it. If you stretch it, you will go there. Maybe you won't stretch it that far, you're willing to bend it, so you manage. These are substitutes for humanity. Why is it? Our education systems, our social mechanisms, we are not doing enough to stir up humanity in a human being. We are trying to fix it with morality, and it's never worked. All we will do is divide people into different kind of moral sects, and they will always fight, because nobody can fit into your morality, because even you don't fit in actually, unless you are smart enough to subvert it secretly. Do you understand? Otherwise, it doesn't work, because morality will not just stick to your profession, it will enter every aspect of your life. Once you start thinking, what is the right thing to do in my profession, you will also think what is the right thing to do on all levels of life, isn't it? Once you start thinking, this is the right thing, and somebody else thinks that is the right thing, there is going to be a conflict and a constant conflict. If you stir up the humanity within you, you will do the most sensible thing that's needed for that moment, and that's all that matters. That your actions are in context with the realities in which you exist. And the context is always changing. If you don't change according to that, once people who are moralistic are always looking archaic for the new generation of people, isn't it? They wonder why this guy is still alive. Yes, if you're very moralistic, even your children will wonder, why are you still alive? Because you look like you're from somewhere else. So what is the most sensible thing to do? What brings well-being to you and everybody around you? This is all one needs to look at constantly. Is there some way to fix it? There is no way to fix it. We have to be alive to it. We have to be alive to it every moment. And as the context changes, what we do has to change. Morality and mortality are not very different.
So when speaking of this, how does one truly find their values and then eventually stick by their values, or should they even be sticking by those values that they find throughout their life?
Values meaning?
It could be anything. It's things that you believe to be true. It could be guiding forces. It could be any of those.
Morals.
Could be.
See, for me, my existence… I'm sorry, it looks like I'm contradicting everything.
That's fine.
I have no morality. I'm on camera, see? I have no morality. My integrity is a consequence of my humanity, not my morality. People who thought they are morally correct, they have done the most horrendous things on this planet. Yes or no? Please tell me. Because of you thinking what is correct. Not just to somebody, even to your own children you've done terrible things. Yes, it is true. Parents, teachers, elders, priests, pundits, they have done terrible things to people simply because they think they have a moral righteousness. Yes or no? Why is it morality has become important? Because you put your humanity to sleep. If your humanity is on, what does humanity mean? It's just this. Do you know in your brain, there is something called as a reptilian brain? It is the size of your fist, or maybe it's the size of a crocodile's brain, that kind of brain you have. And there is also cerebral cortex, which is what makes you human, which is what gives you various sense of being something different from other creatures. What this humanity means is, these days probably you're not seeing this because dogs are all leashed. But if you leave the dogs around, you will see they will go about peeing all over the place. Not because he has some urinary issue. He is building a pee kingdom. Because his entire existence is about a boundary. Always he's thinking about his territory, his boundary. So those men and women who are operating from that part of their intelligence are always thinking of boundaries. But essentially to be human means you move to the other dimension of intelligence where it is always looking at how to break all the boundaries. Fundamentally, you look at yourself and see, no matter where you are, you want to be something more, isn't it so? Hello? If that something more happens right now, what? Something more. We can go on like this. So how much more do you believe will settle you for good? If I make you the king of this planet, will you be fulfilled? Don't look at me hopefully, I will not cause… I'll not commit such a blunder. If you become the king of this planet, will you settle for good? No, you will look at the stars. You would want the solar system, you want the galaxy, you want the Milky Way. Yes or no? Because there is something within you. This is only instilled in a human being, I want you to understand this. This is essentially a human quality that you want to expand limitlessly. Maybe right now you're approaching it in a constipated way, which is called as ambition. Ambition means you're approaching, you're longing to become limitless in a constipated manner. You know what's constipation? It happens little by little. So this is what ambition is. Why do you have an ambition? You don't need it. What you need is an active, dynamic intelligence and an active, dynamic body which supports that, and you have understood your experience of life is always created from within you. If you know and you are creating the nature of your experience, would you keep it miserable or blissful? What's your choice for yourself? No, what you want for a neighbor may be debatable. What you want for yourself is 100% clear. You want it to be in the highest level of pleasantness, yes or no? For yourself. So if you are joyful right now and you're alert and dynamic in your intelligence and active in your body, what will you do? What will you do? You will work for some silly idea in your head, or will you work for something that's absolutely needed because you will perceive life as it is? Right now, you may call it ambition, you may call it passion, you may call it desire. All you're trying to do is squeeze a little bit of juice out of this planet. That's all. You're trying to somehow find some satisfaction, fulfillment, joy, love from the world. I'm telling you, please pay enough attention to yourself and see, if you want joy, if you want fulfillment, if you want peace, if you want love, if you want ecstasy, it can only happen from within you. Yes or no? If this one thing you settle, world, each one of us will deal with it to the best of our ability, but this is the fundamental ability of the human being, that we long to breach all boundaries. If you are some other creature, always you want to set up boundaries. If you sit here and if you have no sense of boundary, of this is my friend, this is my enemy, this is a stranger, this is an unknown person, this is my family, if you do not have such things, if you looked at everybody in an inclusive way, because your boundary is not here, it's limitless or no boundary. If you looked at these people and acted according to your intelligence, would you do something wonderful? Hello? This is your humanity. Your humanity cannot be caged. Your animal nature can be caged. We have evolved over 1,000,000 years, but evolution still is by choice. You can either take a backward step or a forward step. If you take a forward step in your evolution right now, that you understand what this is longing for is to become limitless, not to become rich, not to become powerful, not to own something or something. You want to be limitless because these are the boundaries. So do you want to enhance it in increments? Do you want to go in installments towards the infinite expansion that naturally this life is seeking? You think in installments you can get to infinity? You think it's possible? No. So, how do we do it? At least you must look at it. I don't want to go into that aspect right now, but at least you must look at it, because if you fulfill your ambition, your life will not be fulfilled. Only because you take a lifetime to fulfill it, it is so. Whatever your ambition is, suppose by today evening I will manifest it for you, will you live with total fulfillment for the rest of your life? What you want in next 50 years, I will have it done for you by today evening. Will you live joyfully, peacefully, absolute fulfillment? Will you do it for me? No, so it's not going to work anyway. So only thing is, only if you fail it works. So wrong way to wire yourself. Only if a simple thing that you want takes 50 years to get there, then it works. But if it happens tomorrow morning, it'll be a disaster, isn't it? So now you're talking about change at a rapid pace. So what your ambition is, if it looks silly tomorrow morning, what do? You already invested in that direction, you can't change. So it's best you don't have an ambition, you don't have a passion for anything, but you're capable of doing everything passionately. Whatever is needed, you're capable of doing it joyfully and passionately. That's what makes a human being who he or she is.
So Sadhguru, let's take on that. So let me ask you that. I'll be the simple person. I don't want any passion in my life. I don't want any…
No.
No, I'm just saying.
Take off the simple. Because I'm saying, having an ambition and passion is simplistic. I am not talking about you becoming a simple person. In fact, you become a limitless human being because you have not fixed anything for yourself. If you are joyful… Have you noticed this by yourself? On a certain day, when you're very happy, are you willing to do more things? Or on a certain day, when you're a little depressed, are you willing to do more things? Please tell me. So, lot of idiots on the planet are going about spreading, oh, if I am happy right here, I will not do anything. Well, your experience clearly tells you only when you're happy, you're willing to do whatever is needed, isn't it? You're willing to bend backwards, even to reach out to somebody on the street. But when you're little miserable, you are nasty to everything around you, not willing to do anything, you would like to just lie down and sleep, isn't it so? So where does this thing come from, that if I am joyful and I'm in a very dynamic state of intelligence and physicality, that I will become a simple person? No.
The question has to be asked that, okay, I don't have to have passion at this moment or any ambition. I just want to live my life at my fullest. Full-on happiness, joyful, and I just want to live at the fullest of my potential. How can I do it? What's the step will be?
You're getting to the point. See, most fundamental thing that needs to change in our understanding of this is, When you say full-on experience of life, first thing is to understand that experience of life, no matter what is the experience, of pleasantness or unpleasantness or agony or ecstasy, only happens from within us, isn't it? So, if you take charge of this is what is creating, this is an experience-creating machine. Everything you look at it, oh, you love this person, you hate this person, you're angry with this person, you like this person, you dislike this person, everything is happening from within you, isn't it? Do you know that people who you think you cannot stand, somebody thinks he is the most wonderful person? Yes or no? So, this experience is created from within you, no matter what is the nature of your experience. If you take charge of this one thing, that your experience is determined by you and nobody else but you. If this one thing happens, then don't worry, rest will happen. To what extent? To the fullest extent possible that our intelligence, our capability and the times in which we exist, this is very important. People think they are doing everything by themselves. No, the times in which we exist is important. Depending upon… the time should allow us, right? Suppose you came here 1,000 years ago and you talk about artificial intelligence, they would bury you. Yes or no? So, it is the times. So, the times should be conducive that it allows us. With all this, in your life, if you do not do what you cannot do, it's not an issue. But in your life, if you do not do what you can do, you're a disaster, isn't it? I am only talking about avoiding this disaster because most people have become this disaster because they have their own passion, their own ambition, their own mission and their own moods going up and down, all kinds of things. If you did not have all these things, you would do everything you can do, isn't it? In your life, this much must happen. Everything that you can do must happen. What you cannot do anyway doesn't happen. What to do?